Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. Myself, Cian Simons and Cian Menton as usual. It was another bumper week of League of Ireland football in the Premier and the First Division. Some very interesting results to say the least, Cian. We'll start with Bohemians and Derry City at Dalymount Park, Cian. 2-1 to Bohemians. Incredible scenes, really. Pity there was no fans there, actually. But 1-0 to Derry after 2 minutes. Akintunde. Keith Ward penalty. And then a winner from Andrew Wright, who just managed to scramble the ball home to give Bows an unlikely 3 points.
Unbelievable. That's why we love this league. Like, we've seen it with, not as dramatic, but we've seen it with Finn Harps 2-3 weeks ago against Waterford, and it just shows you how quickly games can change and how points can be taken off you. I was comfortable for Derry, very comfortable. I thought it was comfortable up until about, I'd say, the last 15-20 minutes max. Like it was, and then Bow started huffing and puffing a little bit. Keith Ward done well when he came on. Really, really good. To be honest, I thought Andre Wright wasn't even there. And then the last 15 minutes, like he just came to life. And I thought, look, the way Bows have been all season, I think like they deserve that little bit of luck, especially in recent weeks. I thought they've been very unlucky, let's say, with Europe and stuff like that. So it's nice to see them getting a little bit of luck that way. It's unfortunate for Derry though, like, you know, because at that stage you're counting the points. You know what I mean? And points are in your pocket. You're looking at the table saying we're okay here, and all of a sudden you have 3, then you have 1, and then within a minute, like,
exactly, they're 3 points above Finn Harps, but you can't say they're out of it yet. To be fair,
no, like that would have been 6. That would have been 6 ahead of them and comfortable, you know, and. Like you're saying, right, that's it. Derry are sorted. But now nothing's ever sorted in this league. But I think they would have said that they would have been alright. I just can't get over the late goals. It just shows you that I said it before about the Bows dressing room, how hard working it is. And look, they'd be bitterly disappointed with it. I didn't think, especially after the awful performance against Waterford, then I knew they'd get a bounce and I knew they'd get a result in Sligo. And then they go, and I thought, right, grand, they're on the roll again. I thought Derry should have been easy enough. I don't think Derry were great. I think Bows just weren't that at all. In the game, to be honest, if you're looking at the game as a whole, I thought it was poor enough, like, from Bows for the standards we expect now from Bows. Well, now Derry will be disappointed, you know, for having 3 points in the 94th minute, then having 1, and then having the 1 point, and they're like, well, look, it's not the worst result, we'll have a point, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're going from 3 to 0, and it's madness. But no, all credit to Bows, like I says, they fought right to the very end, and it wasn't their night, but like they tried, and look, they got the rewards in the end.
Absolutely sickening for Derry City, I have to say. You would be. Waterford beat Sligo 1-0 at the RSC the following day on Saturday. Matty Smith with an early strike. What a strike that was, by the way.
Yeah, what a cracker. It was a comfortable enough game, wasn't it? I thought Sligo kind of just passed them by a little bit. Yeah, it was disappointing from Sligo, because like I said, I'm a huge fan of Sligo. I'm a huge fan of watching them play, and they didn't show it. And now, in saying that, I don't know whether it was Sligo being that bad. I kind of watched the game. I watched the game live, and then I kind of watched a half an hour of it when I came back from the Pats game. I kind of watched back a half an hour of it, flicking through it. But I just thought Waterford set up well, and they knew exactly what they were going to do. They knew exactly how they were going to play. And in fairness, it worked. The game plan worked. They stopped Sligo playing out, and you know, Sligo weren't used to that. Sligo are used to getting the ball and playing, but for some reason, Waterford just knew they didn't give them an inch. It showed them the scoreline.
Yeah, like it has Waterford up to third now on 20 points, Sligo on 16. But Sligo now suddenly haven't scored for 3 games as well. And the
See how quickly it changes. Like it's just
like, if you look at them, obviously before lockdown, no points, 4 games. Then they went in that very good run with one blip, the Cork defeat. And then they're going through a bit of a hairy-ish run at the moment.
It's
like,
just,
they're not
it's
playing
madness.
football.
Like I says, we'll get on to the Pats game in a minute. But like I says, the way it is, if Pats, let's say, lost to Shells, all of a sudden we're on a losing streak and we haven't won in so long, we haven't scored in so long. And all of a sudden we win, and now we're on an unbeaten run. And that's how, it's mad how quickly things change, and one result can change everything. I wouldn't panic if I was Sligo. To be honest, I still think they have the quality. I do think they'll finish fourth or fifth. I do. I think they'll have to, like, I think the way they're playing, they're head and shoulders above, let's say, the rest of the likes of Pats or Derry and stuff like that. They should be beaten up. I think they will. But look, Waterford are flying, aren't they? And like, in fairness, it was a hockey and, but Rovers are to give them Dundalk a hockey and tonight, so they probably won't feel half as bad after that. But I just think Waterford now, they've got Rovers out of the way, and they be fancying themselves.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, the likes of Tariq Wilson, I thought, kept Junior well out of the game in this game. It's been very impressive as well for the midfield. He's grown as the season's gone on. He's not a guy who controls the tempo or the game.
No.
He kind of gets in positions, he floats about, he supports the strikers. In fact, he kind of laid off the header, I think, to Matty Smith, if I recall, for the goal.
Matty,
beyond.
Huge fan of Matty Smith since lockdown. I really am. I say it every week.
Yeah.
I really do watch him play. He's direct, what he's going to do, and he's technically very good and technically very clever. And
he's as well. He's a very hard worker. He'll get back and defend as well.
Yeah. But honestly, seeing that strike, it was worthy of winning any game in any league. So fantastic. And it wasn't the only cracker, in fairness, of the weekend, which was good.
Okay, in the second game on the Saturday night was St. Patrick's Athletic and Shelbourne, their big rivals from North Dublin. This was a fantastic game for Pats, in fairness. I thought it was the best performance of the season, Cian. Chris Forster got one of his trademark goals that we haven't seen for a long, long time. Feely with the second goal, but overall I thought Pats were superb in this game from back to front, pretty much. What did you think?
Look, I love beating them. No matter when it is, no matter how it is, I just love beating them. And it was, look, Pats played well, and it's not that Shells played bad. I'll tell you now, I haven't enjoyed watching Pats back, and like I said, I watched Pats back 2 or 3 times after the game, and I watched it back, and literally I studied Shells for the first game. I watched back and watched them, and Shells attacked well, in fairness to them. I was surprised with the game. I found it very open. I thought Shells
First 15 minutes was mental, wasn't it, actually?
Yeah, Shells went to play, and it was very fast paced, and I didn't think we were going to get a game like that. I really didn't. I thought Shells were going to sit in and defend and try and catch Pats on the break, which is what Shells do best, with a long ball over the top. Or I'm not saying they're hoofball merchants, but they play that way, and it's effective and it works for them. But look, I was just delighted with Pats getting a win. To be honest, I'm buzzing over it still. I was still looking back in the goals.
Fair to Shells, though, they can't legislate for the goal the Forrester scored. I mean, you can't. It's just.
I thought, and thing I noticed with Shells, right, they're very intimidating. They're physical. They're hard. They're loud on the pitch. They're loud, and I'm not meaning loud in a constructive way, like the way teams are loud. It's kind of loud in an intimidating type of way. They're very vocal, screaming and shouting out them. Gary Deegan, definitely the main man there for screaming and shouting. He loves the sound of his own voice. I thought now. But look, Chris Forrester were a worldly, what I says. It's I thought Matty Smith's goal was a cracker, but this one I think blows it out of the water. It was top bins, and the minute I left, his foot was in, and and then again,
before that, I don't know, you wouldn't have seen it properly. I'm not sure if you've seen the replays because you're on the far side.
That was a penalty.
That was a penalty, like, honestly, genuinely was a penalty. I don't know how the ref didn't give that, because he was 1-on-1 the keeper, Forrester. The defender panicked. He couldn't do
That was
anything
a
else.
great ball from Clarkey, actually. It was a quick catch and a quick kick out, and Forrester was gone. And I thought,
vision there, I must say now.
yeah, no, I thought he cleaned them straight out on forced the out from behind the goal down the opposite end. Now I was looking at it, but seeing it back, definitely penalty. Look, what a strike! I thought Forrester played well. Not getting ahead of myself, not a chance of me getting ahead of myself.
Well, Cian, with it, yeah, I know what you mean. You need to be consistent, but to be fair, Pats have defended very well in the last 2 games prior to this game.
Yeah,
They gave Shelburne very little in this game as well. The 2 centre halves.
I thought
Feely and
Shells tried to get the ball through the channels, both sides. I thought Dobbs, Dobbs, the striker, I thought he wasn't in the game at all. No. Pat's marshalled him well. I thought, look, Luke McNally had a bit of a shaky one at the start. Like, he was a bit shaky, and then, like, he makes that great tackle. Now, albeit he probably should have cleared it before the tackle, but he made the great tackle, and that kind of gave him that little bit of confidence again, which was needed. But look, all week, Stephen and the players have been blabbing on about how much, like, the goals need to come from around the team. And there you go, Rory Feely, bullet head off from a corner. And he's been a target man. He's missed an awful lot of sitters lately, Rory. So I'm delighted for him to get off the mark with us.
And he had a very good game up and down their high hand side as well.
No, we were solid. We were good. I thought Lee Desmond was fantastic at the back as usual.
Cian, to be honest, I think him and Luke are developing a bit of a partnership in the last 2 games. I know we said Luke made the mistake at starting the match, but you can see a partnership between the two of them and an understanding develop, I think.
Look, everyone knows how highly I speak of Lee as a player, but listening to him, like, I'm there, I'm at the games, there's nobody else there. Like, Clarkey is just a fantastic talker of the pitch, talker of the ball. Really, really good. And he's a great leader at the back. But what I like about, like, Lee Desmond, let's say, for example, he's always going out to Luke. He's always talking to him. And he's talking to him and he's saying stuff to him, but he's not screaming and shouting at him. It's good. And I'm telling you now, what the likes of Lee Desmond in there was fantastic the other night. Like, all the talking. And it's not only been the other night. Lee has been fantastic for us since he signed, let's be honest. But he's grown into a real leader on that side. I think, like I says, it's mad how things change. All of a sudden, like, Pats are 5th now, isn't it? 6th, something like that.
5th, yeah, just ahead of Sligo.
All of a sudden, you know what I mean? And now let's say, instead of we haven't scored in this long, we haven't conceded in this long, and it's crazy how little stats come up and how it changed the positivity around the place. But like I said, it means nothing now if we don't go out next week and put a performance in against Cork.
Before we move on as well, just a quick word of Robbie Benson, because I thought Robbie Benson was unbelievable in the middle of the park. He won nearly every tackle. He was leading he was driving forward. He was intercepting. He was covering the ground. In the last 2 games in particular, I've noticed him really up his levels, and maybe he's getting settled and used to the team and the style of play. I just want to give Stephen O'Donnell a bit of credit as well, because he actually looked like a team the other night.
Yeah, I'll be honest now. If looking at before the game, if there was, I don't think a lot of Pats fans at the minute are a huge fan of, let's say, Jamie Lennon. Now, I'm not sure why he wasn't in the squad. I presume he was injured, because we 2 young lads on the bench, which is fantastic. They made that debut, but I don't think Jamie Lennon would be sitting in the stand if he wasn't fit. If he was fit, so if there was one game I would have liked him before the game now to see Jamie Lennon was up against Gary Deegan, because I thought we needed a player like that, because we played Markey in Tolka against him. And like, it was non-existent. But that's what I thought. But in fairness, credit where it's due, Stephen O'Donnell, he got a spot on. I thought McClellan done very well. Like I said, you're looking at the team, you're looking at the bench, and you're saying, oh, Jesus Christ, right? We'll be quiet here. But I honestly, from the minute of one, like I just thought they were up for it. You knew it. Everyone knew exactly what they were doing. I'm not saying they didn't know what they were doing last week or the week before, but they looked very settled. They looked.
Maybe it's more of a case of they know what each other's doing.
Yeah, and it was. Now I have to say it was a good performance, but I'm not getting overly. I'm not, because we got overly confident with Pats and they let us down again. 2 steps back. But
look, it's a big 3 points regardless.
Big 3 points. On the other hand, you're looking at Shells now. Obviously, they'd be disappointed. Shells would be bitterly disappointed to lose to Pats, especially 2-0, especially not putting, let's say, the performance that they wanted in. There's nothing worse than coming off the pitch with regret. And I'll say every Shell.
A little bit worried at this minute in time. It's 1 win and 7. They're close. Finn Harps and Cork.
No.
You don't worry for them getting dragged in there, no?
They have the quality. They have the players. I'm looking at them play last night, and yeah, look, I know they haven't been winning a lot of games lately. I know they haven't been getting the wins they wanted. But like, if they, let's say, played the way they played last night, which wasn't great, but I don't think a lot of teams would beat them either playing that way. I thought they were solid. In fairness, like, they looked very comfortable. Pats never really, let's say, it was never phase after phase, Pats running at them, attacking. I thought they kind of marshalled them well. As mad as it sounds, like I did. I thought Georgie Kelly didn't get a sniff. I thought the defenders done really, really well. Same with Martin Rennie came on. Now, look, I could mark Martin Rennie in my sleep, but I thought they just marshalled the strikers well. What gets me every time when I'm looking at Shells is that third man run, which was 9 times out of 10 Robbie Benson or Forrester running in. They kind of find it very hard to deal with that. They kind of don't know whether to go to the ball or go to the man and go with the runner. But I think that's the downfall for me. But I would not in the slightest be worried. Look, if Pats lost that game tomorrow or like yesterday, I won't be worried. And if Shells won it, like, you know what I mean? It was somebody was gonna win it, and both teams are level on points. Whoever lost it was under serious pressure. But I don't think Shells fans should be too concerned.
Right, on to Finn Park, Keane. Finn Harps won, Cork City won. Cotaro got a late-ish equaliser after McGlade had given Cork City the lead. I felt watching this, I thought that Cork kind of blew it a little bit. I thought they were well on top for a while. Might have got a 2-0 lead. And Harps came back into it, and then Cork were jittery. What did you think of it?
Yeah, it was Cork kind of shit themselves, didn't they, a bit?
It did,
I thought, look, they had the game. They had it won.
I thought they did.
I have to be honest. I think Ollie Horgan was a big loss for Harps.
Yeah.
It's
his fault, to be honest, though, isn't it?
Yeah, no, in fairness, I'm not going to lie. You could hear them in the blade stand. But I think he was a big loss for them. He's a presence there, and he screams and shouts. I know he screams and shouts and he raves, and he's like a mad joke. But I thought he was a big loss for them on the sideline, you know, having a fella, because he gets everything out of his players, and I just thought they probably could have done with him tonight. Like I said, it's his own fault. But
I think Keane as well, Mark McGinley made some terrific saves. A couple of great saves that kept
like, to be honest, I was trying to put the two of them together. I was looking at McGinley's one for in the first half there. The one when
Coleman one.
Yeah.
Header, yeah.
And I was looking at that, and then I was looking at Clarkie's one for Shells against Shells the other night. The two of them were, I'd say the two of them were goals written all over them, and you know, I couldn't pick a winner out of the two of them now. I thought McGinley's because both games were 0-0 at the time, and you know, you need to have that bit of luck as well. I thought Harps did it. They wrote the luck an awful lot in the game. But
Ferguson did play most of the actual football in the match, didn't they?
But they showed that though. Like, I kind of expected Harps to sit in tight. Look, Harps weren't the ones under pressure here. Harps weren't the ones having to go out and win this game. Cork were the ones that had to win it, and look, they got ahead, and they could, like I said, they kind of just shit themselves a little bit. And you know, Cretaro got on the ball, and look, lovely little finish album. Like, it's great to see.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, yeah, I mean, McNulty's just standing there. I mean, I'm not saying he should save it, but he doesn't even move.
Do you want me to go there?
No. He's
He
25
was,
yards out.
look,
I mean, and
that's what I thought. It was about, what, I would say 23, 24 yards out. It was outside the box.
I'm not saying he should get down and save it necessarily, but God, make a move.
I'm thinking the same thing
Yeah.
when he played Bowles. He kind of parried the ball out, and it was a weak shot. They played Bowles, and Andre Roy tapped it in then. And the same again last year. Remember Ronan Hale scored for Pats. Like, it's the same type of weak shot. It was a weak shot.
It's taken a lot of. It was a pass into the net
That's
for
what I'm
23
saying.
yards.
And that's what I'm saying. The Bowles one was the same. The pass one last year was the exact same. They're a pass in, and look, I just him. The Cork deserve to be relegated along just by.
Before that, to be honest, Cian, Finn Harps hit the post. It was kind of a cross, but I mean that's beating them as well, and that shouldn't be beating them either. That's going in.
Fairness, I think like the amount of goals they've conceded, and like McNulty is a fault. I think it's like, it just annoys me though, because they're not a bad side, and a good keeper there. Like, a good keeper there can change everything for them. But like, I'm telling you now, if Pats don't score next week against McNulty, there's something wrong. I'll be bringing them all the Specsavers.
Big shots from 20, 30 yards. I'm not messing. I was looking at the telly there, and I'm saying to myself, Finn Harps should start taking a few long shots here.
Yeah.
Honestly, like,
in fairness,
I know it's bad. If McGinley was
experience.
Sorry,
Raf showed his experience when he came on.
Have to give him credit, yeah.
He was really good, and he gives you something. You know what you're going to get off, no matter what age he is, no matter how long he's been around the block. He's got himself in there. He puts himself about, and look, fully deserved. I thought Harps in the end deserved the point. I thought it was a fair result in the end, because now hitting the post, and Harps are well on top, and the free kick at the end, that really annoyed me. Right at the end, 93rd minute or something, the free kick. How was a Harps man? I know he hit it over, but how was a Harps man winning that ball? You have Alan Bennett there, probably the tallest player in the league. It frustrates me how bad Cork are at the minute, but not how bad they are as a team. It's all individual mistakes, and I think it's like, I wouldn't only blame McNulty for that goal. It's the centre defensive midfielder. It's Morrissey who needs to be running out front. It's the centre half who needs to be putting the pressure on. He's getting a shot on for 23 yards. McNulty should be saving it. There's no way that should be going in.
You're right. There's plenty of Cork players in and around, but they just don't get close enough either, to be fair, don't they not?
No, I think they're in big trouble.
I think they are, really do. On to Dundalk and Shamrock Rovers, which was on obviously tonight. Dundalk now, in fairness, made a lot of changes. Having said that, obviously 4-0 to Rovers. I thought Rovers were magnificent tonight. I mean, I get sick of talking about them nearly, but Jack Byrne, majestic again, dictating everything. Not only that, though, Finn and Ferrugia as the wing-backs, fantastic. Gary O'Neill quietly around his business in midfield, keeping the ball ticking. Liam Scales, often as a midfielder, he's a defender, centre-back, but he steps into midfield an awful lot and joins attacks, etc., etc. I thought they were outstanding tonight, Keane. What did you think?
Yeah, they were. To be honest, like, they're great. They're the best team with the ball, no doubt. By far the best team without a ball. Their
pressing is unbelievable.
Yeah, they're 3 and they're 4-0 up in a game against Dundalk on a Sunday evening when nobody wants to play, right? They're 3-0 up, honestly, and there's 3-4 men pressing. Look, I think they overpressed tonight. I really do. I do think that. If that was a tighter game, there's no way they do that, because they've often left themselves open in the middle with that pressing. But I'm not. That's the only thing. If I was a football manager now, I'm looking at that, and that's the only way I would say we have a chance of beating Shamrock Rovers.
They might have felt confident that the Dock didn't have on the night enough ball players to beat the press as well.
I thought they had man a do it. That's about it.
And to be honest, he was good on the ball, but my God, he wouldn't track back, would he?
Oh no!
Ronan Finn had the run of the green.
Yeah,
he wouldn't track back.
I thought Rovers look by far worthy champions. If they were going to drop points this year, I thought it was going to be tonight. Considering, like I said it the other day, if Dundalk were out of Europe, that's a totally different game tonight.
I predicted Dundalk to win based on the fact that I thought, yeah, exactly, they may have played a full team. So it was kind of, I couldn't predict,
10 changes, look, rightly so, I think. The legs are right off. They get 3 million if you win this game now. And I think Dundalk just going to play it to get it over and done with.
I think so.
Like, that's no disrespect to them. Obviously, the players there want to warrant the spot in the starting 11. That's why they're playing. Obviously, Chris Shields was suspended for the European tour. That's why he played tonight as centre half. Now,
Chris, he didn't play tonight.
Chris is a centre half. Chris always was a centre half.
Usually,
he came to Bray as a centre half. He came to Dundalk as a centre half. So to have him now playing the middle and then dropping back, it's a big difference. And look, I thought Rovers were just fantastic. They really were.
Like, you just had to watch them and admire them, didn't you? To be honest,
yeah, 100%. But like I said, if I was a football manager now looking at games, that's the way I would set up to beat Rovers. Is let them avoid them on, avoid the 3 men on, play through them because they are leaving gaps. Now they can get away with it because let's say they have quality centre halves, they have a quality keeper, so they can kind of ride that look a little bit. But for me, you're not going to go toe to toe with them. So I think your best way of beating them is avoiding them on.
Yeah, try and do that anyway. That's the best way to do
it. Get and then there's a goal. That's the only thing, yeah.
On to the first division, obviously we had the El Clasico, Midlands Derby, Athlone 0, Longford 4. Big win for Longford. Manly, Verdon penalty, an OG from Delaney and Chambers to the goal. We'll get into the other games quickly, but it keeps Longford in there. They're 4 points off top place. Big win in a derby match, to be fair, wasn't it?
Yeah, Longford need one of the top 4 to one of the top 2 to drop points now to win it. I do think, like, I don't think everyone in that division, well, obviously everyone can't, but I don't think the top 4 are going to win all their games. I really don't.
Highly unlikely.
I think there's going to be twists and turns in it. Look, it was 4-0. You're beating Athlone any time of the year is a good result, but when the pressure's on you, and look,
they haven't been scoring goals, remember, Longford.
Exactly. They haven't been scoring goals. The results haven't been going too well for them. The fans were there. That adds a bit of pressure as well. Because, you know, they need to, I'm not saying impress, they're going to impress either way because they're semi-professional footballers, but that adds a bit of pressure that a bit of crowd was there, and, you know, it felt like old times, let's say, and, you know, the players wouldn't have been used to that, so taking all that into account, to go out and win 4-0 was fantastic for Dara Doyle.
Oh, fantastic result for him, keeps them in there. Carlisle Grounds, I was obviously there for this one. Bray Wanderers 0, Drogheda United 1. Very, very tense game, Cian. Mark Doyle with a header from a set piece. Bray will be disappointed with that aspect.
Yeah, I've seen it back.
I've seen it back. Doyle was good, but he'd missed other chances. But they'd be disappointed to concede from set piece from Doyle.
Yeah, I watched the game this morning. I thought
wasn't it tense overall?
Yeah, look, to be honest, I knew the score and I was still nervous watching it. I don't know why. I just, you know, it was one of them games, wasn't it? It was like a cup final. Bray lost it, but at the end, it was kind of like Bray have just got relegated. It was literally like they were so roiled up for this game, and this was the big one, and it was just kind of like a hammer blow. Do you know what I mean? When they lost, and
probably keen because in the second half, Drogheda retreated somewhat, and Bray didn't really create any chances.
No,
really,
Drogheda sat in the edge of that box. Let's be honest.
Huey just nearly every header going in. To be honest,
that man, he's Premier Division quality. Like, I always wanted to see him in a patch jersey. I really did. He's a proper centre half. Now, in fairness, he used to play as a fullback. When I say he was an attacking wing back before they even existed, he really was. He was an attacking wing back before anyone ever heard of it. Like, you know, he was really that good for UCD back in the day for up and down the wings. But I thought Bray would have won this now, considering they were at home, and, you know, it's nice to see supporters in the game as well.
I have to admit now, that was a bit of crack now. There was about 3 or 4 Bray Ultras having to go with Huey Douglas.
Yeah.
Chris Lyons when he came onto the pitch, being brave men.
That's, you need to have a bit of crack, and, having the fans there is great. And, like, you see it, I know I'm at the Pats games, and it's just, the players are coming out on the pitch, and you like, the people around the whole tenables are kind of saying, come on, the Saints, trying to get something going, like, but it's impossible. And just to even have, like, it's mad that them, whatever was in the 100 fans, like,
it felt like more for some reason.
That's because it would. Because everyone appreciates them more.
Exactly. I think it's two things. The fact that you're not used to crowds at matches, so you know what I mean? And also because it was a tense occasion as well. You know what I mean? There was a few Drogheda fans in there as well. So, you had a bit of banter as well, that kind of way.
But it was really good, but Drogheda, what a win for them. What a fantastic win. To get out of there 1-0, especially in the form Bray are, like, they would be buzzing with that. And like I said, that was nearly, I know it wasn't point-wise, but it felt like a 6-pointer.
Well, if you think about this, Cian, from Drogheda's point of view, that last-minute goal during the week against Rovers B, and then to go and win and Bray like that, I know there's only a point in it, but it's a psychological thing as well. I know.
That's what I mean. Like, it feels like Drogheda won the battle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's mad, but, like, in 2 weeks' time now, Drogheda could be 5th or something, and it's just the way things go. But I thought Bray be bitterly disappointed now that they didn't not lose or something. You know what I mean? The game, the second half just passed them by. I wouldn't even say they really huffed and puffed. They had a couple of chances, but they never broke them down. They never tried to break them down. Well, obviously they were trying to break them down.
I think what they're doing was as well, they're making a mistake. They were kind of playing a few long balls into the centre of Drogheda's defence. That's meat and drink to Hughie Douglas and Derek Prendergast. Absolutely. But what happened was in the first half, their two wingers, Grayston and Callum Thompson, couldn't get the better of Brown and Kane. And I think they thought they could get the better of Brown and Kane. But Brown and Kane are very good and quick themselves. And I arguably think they're the two best fullbacks in the First Division. And they really snuffed them out. And Bray then resorted, I think, to playing high balls into the centre, into young what's his name, Aaron Lynch.
You're wasting your time, like.
You're wasting time.
Like, Hugh Douglas, to be honest, I think he's the tallest man. He's probably the tallest centre half in Ireland at the minute, playing football. Like.
He loves a header.
Yeah, but I honestly do. He has to be tall. He has to be the tallest, I think. And anyway, is like, now obviously Curtis here, so he doesn't look half as big. But like, what a player! He's Premier Division quality, and look, Drogheda have the experience as well. Like the likes of Hughie Douglas, like Hughie has been there, done that. Everything was great. Like that, like, you know what I mean. Derek Prendergast too. Still going around, and he's still putting in performances. He's still playing really well. You have, like, there's quality everywhere, and I just think I still think Bray might top it at this minute in time. But Drogheda, that would feel like Drogheda at the minute. It looks like it feels in your head that Drogheda are top of the league.
But next week,
that's it.
Next week. Longford could be talking about Longford next week, Cabinteely 1, Wexford 5. Unbelievable. I mean, Wexford were 10-1 to win this. I'd love to know what they were to win 5-1. Monaghan.
How many players had that?
Simon's got 2, no relation. O'Sullivan, nice score for Cabinteely, but I don't know what's happened. Cabinteely really keen. No. Honestly, I don't know.
It's madness. I was looking at the results, and I thought it was a mistake, to be honest with you.
I heard it at the car friends of the announcer. I was like, what?
It's madness. Like, I don't know what happened to them. They just fell. They literally just collapsed, and now they'd be disappointed. Look, you want to be
down to 5th now, and they're on 23 points. They're in the playoffs. Galway and Cove are just behind them on 20. We'll get to Galway in a minute, but they were lucky probably Galway lost that match.
Yeah, but,
I think hanging on to the playoffs, you feel now.
Yeah, looking at Cabinteely, you're looking at Galway. I still think Galway are going to pip them if they they have to be favourites to pip them now, considering the way they are. But Like, I don't know what happened. Like, what a result for Wexford. You know, Harry Kenny's doing some job there, isn't he?
Sometimes I was thinking exactly what I was thinking. Like, he's gone in assistant manager, and you know what I mean.
I believe Harry's just helping out his mate. His mate's the manager, and I believe that's all it is. There's nothing to it.
Yeah, about it. Like, yeah.
I was talking to Harry himself. Like, he's only helping his mate.
That's
it's mad. But
he'll take the help because just an unbelievable. The result of the season, as far as I'm concerned, in both divisions, just shocking, really. Fair play to Wexford, though. Galway 0, Cove Ramblers 1, and their good run came to a stuttering halt here. Turner with the goal. Cove are back in the mix all of a sudden, 3 points off Cabinteely as well. So it makes that aspect of the league very interesting now too, doesn't it?
Ian Turner scored, now Ian Turner for me is one of the he's up there with Glenn Fitzpatrick's to play for Pats. He's up there, let's say, with the very best of the worst. I don't know, like, it was Galway, that was a massive loss. Like, not only, like, that's psychological. Every game now is psychological in this now. And just in your mind.
Get into it, but they play Drogheda, I believe, next as well, so that's going to be a big game for them too.
Yeah, I think Caulfield will have them well drilled for the Drogheda game. You know, you nearly fancy them as mad as it sounds. But
this could have been just one of those where it's right, come back down to earth. Suddenly everyone was talking about Galway. They might have got ahead of themselves. It can happen. You're a human being. Great result for Cove at the same time.
What a result for Cove, you know. And Cove put themselves back in it with a shout now. And look, I know the work that has been done down in Cove. I know they're not there to make up the numbers. And what a win. And look, they got a win in Drogheda. They got a win in Galway. You know, they're picking up some valuable points and picking up points that you don't think they're going to pick up as well.
That's the funny thing with them, yes.
Particularly I look now and I think, like, as a Pats fan, we played Rovers the other week, about 3-4 weeks ago now. We played Rovers, and I always say, we're picking up a point off them. That's a bonus point that we have on everybody else. That's the way I look at it, because nobody's really going to get out of them. And we got something. So I always say that's class as a bonus point. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And I think, like, looking at Cove, the points they're picking up, like, it's fantastic to see. And look, they're putting themselves back in with a shout. Like, Cabinteely, they're looking now. Galway and Cove are rubbing their hands together at Cabinteely falling, and who knows? Like, could we see the two of them in the playoffs? You just don't know.
Check the fixtures properly, but I'd be curious to know if they actually play each other as well, which would be interesting as well. If not, play Cabinteely. Shamrock Rovers 2, UCD 5, and their Jekyll and Hyde form continues for UCD. They're either battered or they hammer someone. Madai again, Bishop with 2, and Collie Whelan with 2. Brandon Kavanagh with 2 free kicks, I believe, for Shamrock Rovers. I didn't see them, but someone said 2 free kicks. Never heard of him. Did we talk about him last week? He must be on 11 or 12 goals this season, and you know we've talked about him last week. He's a midfielder. He can't stop scoring though at the moment as well, despite the fact that he's relatively a creative midfielder as well. Good result for UCD. Keeps them in the playoffs, and they probably fancy to sneak in the playoffs now. You know.
Yeah, big time. What a result. That was like we said, we spoke about, that's a good Shamrock Rovers B-side for the fourth division. And, like, if they put, I think the Shamrock Rovers B is a bit underestimated, right? I think if all that team went out and played as Cove Ramblers, let's say, I'd say they'd be taken differently in their mindset and in their head. I just think the Shamrock Rovers B kind of throws a lot of people off. And
players in that team, I think they were getting Premier Division teams. Obviously, we spoke about Alou as well. Sean Brennan could be touching as well. It's hard to tell.
Sean Brennan would, I think, honestly, Brandon Kavanagh Premier Division. Alou, I would say Drogheda. Drogheda, Longford, up the top end, Bray. Like, who will be, let's say, in the Premier Division next year. But I think he needs a year. I think a lot of them, obviously, look, they're getting a year in the fourth division. But I think they need a year with it. I'm not gonna put them down and not say a proper team, but they need to be with, let's say,
Rovers mightn't have a team in this division. We have to remember next season.
Yeah.
So,
like, there's a lot. Like,
where do they go exactly? We've spoken about that, but where do they go?
Well, I don't mind Pat's having a few now. But I do. I think. I honestly, I just think the base underestimates a lot of people. Like, people look at it and say we shouldn't be beaten by a B side. And
Rovers, there's a difference, isn't there? Look,
team at the moment. I still think people have that mindset. Nobody wants to be beaten by a second team, and you know what? That's why I'm saying if all them put Cove jerseys on, there's a different story.
If Drogheda to play Shamrock Rovers B tomorrow and lose, and they play, as you say, Cove Ramblers or Athlone tomorrow, they're almost more annoyed at the losing to the Shamrock Rovers B team.
Yeah, and they could be the exact same players. You know what I mean?
Exactly. The quality could be.
To be honest with you, I think personally, Shamrock Rovers B are better than Wexford and Athlone.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Like, I know the table probably.
Bottom of the table at the moment.
Yeah, I'm looking at the bottom of the table, but I still, like, if I had a choice between Wexford squad, if I had a choice between Wexford or Athlone squad or Shamrock Rovers B, I'd take Shamrock Rovers B all day, and that's the way I look at it. But you know, like, UCD are just, I don't know. You don't know what you're going to get out of them. You're going to get a great game no matter what, but you just don't know whether you're going to go home happy or you're going to be kicking the dog.
That's exactly what it is. Like, they're going. I believe they'll finish in the playoffs. Personally, they're on 23 points, another level of Cabinteely. Yeah. But you feel like they can win every couple of games. When you see they might lose next week, they're going to win the next week, so that's going to keep them in the playoffs.
Yeah,
playoffs, of course, to be very dangerous, no doubt about it. It's a hard one with them, though, isn't it?
I think there's going to be a lot of managers' jobs on the line here. I think everybody, let's say, from Galway up, are planning to go up this year and get promoted.
Now, I don't think, say, Pat Devlin's job will be on the line at Cabinteely, but there might be question marks whether he'll decide to stay on.
Well, I don't mean manager jobs. I mean pressure, really. Like, there's a lot of pressure on Longford. There's a lot of pressure on Drogheda, Bray, and then you have Galway coming up and stuff like that. UCD as well. Like, these are all setting up their squads to get into the Premier Division, right?
Exactly.
One team can get up there, and the other team has to go through an awful playoff. Like, they have to beat the team that finishes second. Then they have to go and beat the 9th team finish. And
in my opinion,
you know, I do. Whether I think personally, I hope not, but wait until Pats are a little bit better, right? But I'd put two automatically down and one in the relegation. And I think it just gives them a little. It gives the Fourth Division a little bit of hope, because look, a lot of money is being thrown into that Fourth Division.
The playoff is, it's a huge advantage for the Premier Division team to play one tie. Sorry,
that's what I'm saying. So I think if the bottom two went straight down, the top two came straight up, and then 3rd to 6th play.
I'd love, personally though, Cian, without getting too much into it, I'd love to have 12 teams in the Premier, ideally, and 12 in the First Division if it was possible.
Yeah,
I'd love to do it. But not B teams. Not B teams now.
No.
But 12 teams, actual clubs. Look, guys, subscribe, comment, and like the video, and we'll see you again. Thanks again, Cian.
Thanks, bud. Bye-bye.